I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy.
Knowing what I know now,
I didn't see that I had a hot attitude until I got with Jeezy, understanding what I know now about who I wedded. I could not have possibly hitched him gracious. This is so chaotic. Yet pick up the pace, go get your mug so I can pull this hot teeth. So as of now, we as a whole realize that youthful Jeezy mother named Tim J. Wayne Jenkins, holler to my young lady, has petitioned for legal separation against Jai Mama. It seems like Jeannie Mama is at last ending her quietness after Jeezy detailed recording a separation. Yet it seems to be everybody's side coming great aside from Jai. A few fans even brought up that Jeezy at last understood that Jai was not the perfect individual for him, particularly after the dubious remark she made about dating people of color, and a lady who prefers her dull meat as an afterthought and has a blazing attitude. No big surprise Jeezy at long last tapped out, yet reports additionally uncovered that Jai had no clue about it and was totally dumbfounded. This implies she was totally surprised in light of the fact that wasn't she the person who as of late hailed her prospective ex's book and triumphs in a contacting Instagram post as though all was well between them. Yet it turns out there had been inconvenience in heaven. Lock in on the grounds that this is really muddled, so in the separation recording, Jeezy expressed that their marriage is hopelessly broken, without really any desire for compromise, and he is additionally looking for joint legitimate authority of their girl. As per the legally binding notes, the two had a prenuptial understanding that Jeezy expected to be authorized that very day he sought legal separation. He likewise took Instagram and imparted a photograph to the inscription to zero in it on who I'm becoming to zero and on who's not accompanying me, and keeping in mind that neither Jenny nor GC have uncovered the subtleties of their separation. We've all been watching what's been happening. Just to give you a short recap, the two met in November 2018 on the arrangement of the Genuine, and to some J and Jeezy 2 or 3 objectives. And obviously Jai was having a great time getting to realize him. Has been one of the most gorgeous encounters of my life. They wedded in Walk 21 in the wake of being locked in for about a year. And the wedding was considerably more modest than they had planned, attributable to COVID-19 restrictions. In September 2021, Jay affirmed that she was pregnant, and surprisingly, illuminated her co-hosts in a profound disclosure. These insider facts for you all, cause we had such a great amount to uncover here at the show, including the way that I am pregnant. For the people who don't recall, Jai was recently hitched to Freddie Harce. For quite some time, it's prevalently accepted that their marriage finished in light of the fact that Jai never needed to have kids in this manner. Unfortunately, when she in the end chose to have a kid with Jeezy, he separated from her, with the separation standing out as truly newsworthy. Many individuals are thinking about what happened, particularly since it seems like Jai was completely surprised and had no clue about what was going to happen to her. Clearly much has been guessed in regards to the genuine justification for their separation. Yet may I start by helping you to remember's popular remark about fetishizing people of color, cherished individuals of color. I did yet, for me dim meat as an afterthought white, keeps me mean and lean. You realize that is the reason, hitched white man, that is what I like. The web always remembers you all in any case, despite the fact that Jenny apologized for her words. At the time she was as yet chastised for fetishizing individuals of color, predominantly when she alluded to them as dim meat, besides the fact that she alluded to the men as meats. Yet she likewise recognized valuing having a person of color as a piece right. The daringness of many individuals were additionally not blissful about what she said. And she even got broiled on the web for this. One fan composed, I keep thinking about whether she's always approached to examine how net this proclamation was, and to withdraw it. Another fan left a remark saying, I thought Jeannie Mama said she just likes dim meat as an afterthought. And presently she's having a youngster with person of color. Jai became maddened when her co-has intruded on her with remarks guaranteeing that they misjudged her. Yet Jeannie, we understand what we heard, and after the separation became public her words re-emerged, with many asserting that the dim meat had lapsed and needed her out of his life. Additionally, I would rather not begin anything. And this is what individuals are talking about in light of the fact that the web is overflowing with hypotheses that Jenny can't only date a person of color, perhaps quite possibly she had another man. And that man's name was Mario Los. Permit me to make sense of bits of hearsay are flying that Jay and Mario were subtly messaging another, and were. Gotten so Jeezy decided to break the marriage. I don't have the foggiest idea where this is coming from or how verifiable. It is nevertheless, that is one reason fans accept their marriage fell. And we should not fail to remember Jeezy has a background marked by relationship unrest and lawful hardships, so it was inevitable before that side of him started to show up in his union with Jai. Jeezy has numerous youngsters with various ladies, so G expecting a man like him to be in a drawn-out, committed monogamous relationship was a bit ludicrous. And assuming you've been focusing, you've unquestionably seen that Jeezy tends to bounce once the child is conveyed. So we're not taking a gander at a holy person here. But rather the separation might not have been absolutely about that. Recollect how she transparently uncovered her unpredictable attitude, with Jeezy noticing that he provoked her to deal with herself in manners that her earlier accomplice had a my equivalent. Not here's an individual, and I truly regard, and when I would regurgitate a portion of my old propensities, and he was like, that is not flying here, and furthermore it would set off him to return at me. With things where I resembled, who the F do you assume you are? Jeannie expressed that she was dealing with her displeasure issues, in spite of the fact that it is obscure the way that effective her endeavors were in the end. Maybe her wild attitude was the explanation. Jeezy could never again stand her truth, be told a source near Jenny, uncovered to the media that she isn't the sweet individual portrayed on TV. That lady can be pushy and rude. And it's absolutely impossible that Jeezy could tolerate that for a really long time. So it is possible that Jeezy acknowledged he'd never be enough for Jeannie as an individual of color. Or it might have been Jeannie's red-hot attitude that caused the separation. A ton of fans additionally shared their opinion about this matter. For example, this fan was shocked and said, "Wish you wasn't quite agreeable. I'm exceptionally astonished a non-person of color has a resentment issue," while one more added, "You realize I can sort of see this. She's constantly discussed the injury she has straightforwardly, and obviously it'll raise rage. And so unjustifiable, so yet she can likewise see somebody and truly accomplish the work anyway." There might have been different motivations behind why the marriage didn't resolve. One of the clarifications might have been their totally different ways of life. While Jay is vigorously dug in the Hollywood culture in Los Angeles and content creation, and is about the glimmer and glitz, Jeezy has an all the more relaxed character and spotlights on his undertakings and infrequent visits. And when I say Jeannie let us know all that was happening in that marriage, I mean all that. One of my number one positions is truly being on top of Jay. Since you see your paunch, you see his face. And he will play like he's playing with your midsection or playing with your bosoms, yet she didn't stop there and added more subtleties. I credit him. I didn't advise him to do this. So him normalizing that the child's there, you know how a few men, maybe as I would rather not touch the child, or perhaps I'm not contacting the tummy, but rather making everything like, yo, you became up in the blend in this, is the way you got made, and keeping in mind that fans accept that she overdid it and overshared a ton of individual and private insights concerning her and his significant other. Without thinking about Jeezy's say regarding the matter, Jeannie believes it's simply common to discuss that, and surprisingly, called the experience delightful. I think pregnancy is truly gorgeous. Yet openly discussing such a close second with your accomplice for the entire world to realize I have to take a hard pass. Perhaps Jeezy became weary of being driven into the spotlight, and his adoration life being oversharers truly concurred that the oversharing could have been an enormous issue. and posted on Twitter additionally a ton of fans. Imagine that Jeezy and Jai Mai's marriage was so happy-driven that the woman transformed her dim meets side spouse into a substance husband to have a substance child. Since she had a substance-based way of life, they likewise belly Jeezy got depleted chasing after her and chosen to petition for a separation. Moreover, Jai and Jeezy have a place with discrete groups of friends and have various gatherings of companions. Their social starting points are like oil and water. And it's possible that these did, which added to their separation. Many individuals accept that Jay and Jeezy entered the marriage not really for adoration, yet for other explanations behind Jeezy. It's prov that the transient exposure and tasteful allure that Jai brought to his life attracted him, and he probably won't have been completely arranged for marriage's obligations. Taking everything into account, it's conceivable that she saw monetary security in Jeezy. It's